Hello, dear ones. I just got some insight into how to deal with impatience right now, especially during this time on the planet, because so many of you are so impatient, and the frequency of impatience is tangible. It's there, and there is guidance for you here to deal with the impatience if you feel that too, because a lot of clients of mine, a lot of people are asking right now in terms of the ascension process of the planet, of the increasing level of vibration here. We want to see change. A lot of light workers, a lot of loving humans want to see change on the planet, want to see change in our lives and in each other's lives. And many of you are starting to become really impatient, and you look at outside events, global events, as an indicator on how far you have come, the planet has come, in terms of the ascension process, in terms of the change, like this 3D, 5D move, right? But this whole looking at outside events as an indication or indicator is not serving you at all, quite the opposite, because it doesn't go fast enough for you, and because so many things that are happening are validating for you that this is actually nearly going backwards, or that it's not moving forward at all. And you're in for a surprise because, and you know, I'm making light of this a little bit because impatience is not easy to deal with, and I'm going to get into this in a minute as to how we can deal with it, right? But the surprise will be, now that is my perception of it, okay? My internal perception of the whole process. The surprise is that it's going to take a lot longer than you think. Some people are really talking about, well, the next couple of weeks, and then like the world is gonna change, or the next couple of months, and then magically we will feel 5D-ish, and the frequencies will present themselves to us that we experience so many things totally different. It will be like magic just happened within a couple of months. In my perception, dear human beings, fellow humans on this planet, it's gonna take a lot longer. And it's possibly going to take a lot longer than our generation. And it's possibly going to take a lot longer than just our generation and the next generation. We're all in this process. So it is already happening and it is changing. But what so many of you want to see is these drastic changes globally, in terms of like from one day to another. And my perception is this is not how it's going to go. My perspective is this is not how it is. We are already in the process of transformation, right? But if you look at the human history, and everybody's energy is in this, everybody's energy, intention, vibration is co-creating this whole process, or the opposite. Like, there's so many people who don't want anything to change, who want the old energies to prevail, to be there, to be lived and expressed for the next 1,000 years, right? They're also there, and they don't just disappear, because everybody has the right for their own perspective and their own path. And sometimes it means going over and over and over old energy lives, right? Like really, really dense, really, really heavy, really, really dark, okay? And they still have their path to go. So we can't just beam them off the planet and say, you go somewhere else because we want now 5D Earth and, you know, happy days. That's not how it works, because we're all in this together. Because in the end, every individuated energy or soul is part of one. So in the end, it's all one anyway. But these individual paths are allowed to be. Now, coming back to what are you saying? This will not be solved within my lifetime, and I will not experience this, and what? Right? Or it won't happen during the next couple of months. It's like, probably, right? Probably it won't. But we are already transitioning. So it's not about arriving at a certain destination or point. We're heading there. But it is about loving the transition. It is about loving the now the way it is and contributing with your acceptance of the now and with your positive intention, contributing to the movement into more light. You cannot do it from a place of resistance, and impatience is always an indication of resistance. I got that earlier as a kind of message from the other side, if you want to call it that, from my higher self, from greater wisdom in that. And it makes total sense to me. Impatience is a sign of not accepting what is because you want to get to somewhere else and you're not happy with where you're now. And that's what creates dissatisfaction and impatience. And as we know, the law of attraction brings to you more of what you vibrate already. So if you're dissatisfied with something, with the current now, and you want to get to somewhere else, and you say, I don't have this, I'm not there yet, and so on, you get more of lack of what you want. And you get more of the vibration of dissatisfaction and impatience, and everything you observe that is not wished because you're holding it in your vibration. Now you say, okay, but how do I get out of this? How do I become patient? Like, how do I do this? It's like, yeah, nice in theory, but I still feel this. I don't want to live certain things. I don't want to witness certain things. How do I get out of this? And it is about stopping to look for the indicators out there. As in, I still see this stuff going on, so this means we're not moving at all. I'm not moving at all, and this makes me frustrated. Stop observing and then judging what you observe and then taking this as an indication as to how you should feel or where the process is. Turn it around. Your internal intention, your freedom, your love, your joyfulness, your everything you want creates what you experience and has an effect on what everybody else can sooner, quicker experience too. So concentrate on that. Come back to you. And how was that? Like, fill your life right now, fill your situation and everything you observe right now with the love you have. Fill it with the love you have, with acceptance, with your blessings. That's how it was said, with your blessings right now. In order to, number one, stop feeling impatient. Because once you accept the now and once you're okay with the now and you realize I can love this right now and I'm going to love it into the future. I'm going to love my present into the future. You cannot stay stuck in a present moment that you totally dislike. Reject that, which means holding on to that vibration, and wish for the total opposite future. It does not work that way. How it works is the current moment gives you a preference, as in, I now know through living in this moment what I like and what I don't like, what I prefer and what I do not prefer to experience. So that's okay. That's duality. So duality helps you feel what you want, know what you want. But then you cannot turn to, but this is not there, and look at what you don't want. You have to match your vibration with what you want. So bring this vibration of everything you want and love into the now. And that way you love it into being. You pull it into your experience because that's how it works. You become, in the end, it is always a becoming. It's not so much an outside manifestation process. It is about becoming what you want to experience, which means vibrationally matching up to it. So it makes total sense. If you are impatient, you're holding the frequency of exactly that which you do not want, because you know there is a lack of it. Otherwise, you would not feel impatient. Impatience is a sign of resistance. And what I was also shown was that many people feel that holding on to impatience and dissatisfaction and reminding themselves how dissatisfied they are and how impatient they are and where they want to go, and this impatience is for them kind of proof how much they want something. The more impatient I am, the more I'm showing to myself, and maybe everyone else, but many as well to myself, how important this really is. Otherwise I wouldn't feel impatient. But this is not how it works in terms of manifesting it, in terms of living it, experiencing it. So holding on to your impatience and dissatisfaction is not a proof. It doesn't prove anything. It is a story that you tell yourself that this might prove it, but it's not helpful. It doesn't get you to where you want to go. What does is being okay with it, how it is now, and taking out of the now everything you appreciate, creating more of it vibrationally. Everything you appreciate right now that is going in the right direction, that feels right, that is already there, that you love or that you value, that you are thankful for. Pull that out of the now and enjoy it, and stop focusing on what you don't have and what you're impatient to get or to experience. And also, every one of us, we need to be much more aware that we are co-creating with everyone else. We're not just creating in our own lives. All the vibrations that we have and that we hold, they go out into the collective. So the more impatience and frustration and dissatisfaction you feel, the more of that vibration you're projecting out, and the collective feels it. And many of you sensitive people, you pick it up. You pick up this impatience of everyone. And then at some point it becomes very confusing and very chaotic, because it has almost no direction anymore. It is just impatience in itself. And I think a lot of empaths out there and a lot of sensitive people, energy sensitive people, feel that. And that doesn't help, because then not only do we have our own stuff to deal with, but also we're picking up this from the collective and trying to sort this through. So start with you. Start with you and with what you are sending out today into your life and into everyone else's life. And that cannot come from a place of lack and of, I still don't have this, I don't have that, I wish it was happening sooner. And the more you come into the now and being okay with the now and appreciating it, appreciate everything you can appreciate about the now, the quicker what you want is going to arrive. That's the paradox, but that's how it works. Okay, so I wanted to share this with you today for all of you who do feel the impatience. Okay, open up your perspective. Maybe it will take a couple of generations to experience what you have in your mind you want to experience. But my sense is that all of you also will be around for that. You're not going to stop creating this. You're a part of this. You're energetically, that's my perception, tied to this process because you love it, because you want it, because you bring the light and you feel that this is what you want to do. So stay on the side of the light and love the light. Life is light. No, light is joy. So stop keeping yourself away from the joy. And joy is something you can only experience in the now, right? And you will possibly all be around for everything in this process. Yeah, we don't just have, in my view, this lifetime to do what we want to do. Okay, so if you open up that perspective, you also might sense a little bit of playfulness in all that. And, you know, it becomes lighter. Don't make it such a heavy, serious process, right? Enjoy this ride, because it is a ride. Stop trying to control everything. Go with it, with your intention. And let your intentions be clear. Let them guide you and let them help you experience everything with a bit more lightness, a bit more joy, a bit more playfulness, and not so much seriousness. Okay, I'm gonna love you and leave you for today, and we will be talking again next time.